The chair recognizes Mr. Burton from Indiana for 5 minutes. For what purpose does the gentleman rise? Oh, I'm sorry. Without objection, the gentleman from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a military victory in Iraq is unattainable, just as it was in the Vietnam War. At the close of the Vietnam War in 1975, a telling conversation took place between a North Vietnamese colonel named Tu and an American colonel named Harry Summers. Colonel Summers said to Tu, "You know, you never beat us on the battlefield." And Tu replied, "That may be so, but it's also irrelevant. It is likewise irrelevant to seek military victory in Iraq. As conditions deteriorate in Iraq, the American people are told more blood must be spilled to achieve just such a military victory. 21,000 additional troops and another $100 billion are needed for a surge. Yet the people remain rightfully skeptical. Though we've been in Iraq for nearly 4 years, the meager goal today simply is to secure Baghdad. This hardly shows that the mission is even partly accomplished. Astonishingly, American taxpayers now will be forced to finance a multi-billion-dollar jobs program in Iraq. Suddenly, the war is about jobs. We export our manufacturing jobs to Asia, and now we plan to export our welfare jobs to Iraq, all at the expense of the poor and the middle class here at home. Plans are being made to become more ruthless in achieving stability in Iraq. It appears Muqtada al-Sadr will be on the receiving end of our military efforts, despite his overwhelming support among large segments of the Iraqi people. It's interesting to note that one excuse given for our failure is leveled at the Iraqis themselves. They have not done enough, we're told, and are difficult to train. Yet no one complains that the Mahdi or the Kurdish militias or the Badr Brigade, the real Iraqi government, not our appointed government, are not well trained. Our problems obviously have nothing to do with training our Iraqis to fight, but instead with loyalties and motivations. We claim to be spreading democracy in Iraq, but al-Sadr has far more democratic support with the majority Shiites than our troops enjoy. The problem is not a lack of democratic consensus, it is the antipathy toward our presence among most Iraqis. In real estate, the three important considerations are location, location, location. In Iraq, the three conditions are occupation, occupation, occupation. Nothing can improve in Iraq until we understand that our occupation is the primary source of the chaos and killing. We are a foreign occupying force strongly resented by the majority of Iraqi citizens. Our inability to adapt to the tactics of fourth-generation warfare compounds our military failure. Unless we understand this, even doubling our troop strength will not solve the problems created by our occupation. The talk of a troop surge and jobs program in Iraq only distracts Americans from the very real possibility of an attack on Iran. Our growing naval presence in the region and our harsh rhetoric toward Iran are unsettling. Securing the Horn of Africa and sending Ethiopian troops into Somalia do not bode well for world peace. Yet these developments are almost totally ignored by Congress. Rumors are flying about when, not if, Iran will be bombed by either Israel or the United States, possibly with nuclear weapons. Our CIA says Iran is 10 years away from producing a nuclear bomb and has no delivery system. But this does not impede our plans to keep everything on the table when dealing with Iran. We should remember that Iran, like Iraq, is a third world nation without a significant military. Nothing in history hints that she is likely to invade a neighboring country, let alone do anything to America or Israel. I am concerned, however, that a contrived Gulf of Tonkin-type incident may well occur to gain popular support for an attack on Iran. Even if such an attack is carried out by Israel over U.S. objections, we will be politically and morally culpable since we provided the weapons and the dollars to make it possible. Mr. Speaker, let's hope I'm wrong about this one. I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you, gentlemen.